Hello, beautiful ones. Welcome to Light Unfiltered. I know it's a little ironic because I actually literally have filtered light coming onto me, but the angle of the sun in the sky is such that I would need to move my entire desk if I didn't have at least a little filtering. We're actually talking about me and my voice and my truth and what I'm seeing in the collective and the light that is being liberated right now. It's a lot of energy, it's a lot of chaos, and I want to talk about it. The unfiltered way means that there might occasionally be the odd F bomb or other curse word, and I'm just not going to hold back and censor myself because that's been my journey of uncensoring myself over the years, the decades. I am 43. I'm in my 44th year, and I was born a mystic who had magical experiences. And I'm just going to share this out, but I spent a ton of times not speaking my truth, not speaking the fullness of the magic that I had inside. I did not speak to what I wanted to share because it didn't feel safe to me for a very, very, very long time. I thought people wouldn't get me. I thought that I subconsciously I would be stoned and burned at the stake and exiled and all of those things that were in my akashics and ancestral and collective memory. None of that is true for me in this lifetime. This life is different and it is for you as well. So this is part of my favorite work to do with people is to help you liberate the divine light within, to get rid of all the shit that's in front of it and allow it to shine for you to feel it, but also to realize that that divine light inside of you is an emanation of the infinite all that is. It's more magical than you can even imagine, and reconnecting with your power, your potency, your authenticity, your divinity, as well as your humanity is it's the vibe. My vibe today is coming at you with like I've been having the greatest time today, but my nail polish did run out exactly before I finished this hand. So you're getting uh one pink and one nude nail polish hand because that's just how I'm rolling today. There are just no more left in here. I'm scraping the sides. And that's how it goes. I do not live a perfect life in terms of it always working out for me, but I do have the mental mastery to be able to flip literally anything that comes my way into an opportunity. I know how to shift my mindset and focus and energetics almost instantly. This is something I've naturally had, but then cultivated over years to turn my basically silver lining superpower into something teachable because this is how we survive right now, especially if you're a light worker, a healer, someone that is here to make the world a better place and help midwife an evolution of consciousness on this planet. We all know there is massive transformation, revelation, illumination, and evolution happening right now. So it's very chaotic. The light is showing us all of the seamy underbelly of everything that hasn't been built on truth and integrity and divinity. So that being brought to the surface makes it seem like it's way more chaotic and evil than it ever has been, but nothing could be further from the truth because this shit has been here for millennia underneath everything, every system and structure, governments, institutions, like so much of it has been built on lies and like not source based truth. Like it, I mean, the word evil comes to mind, right? Like, the pedophilic sex rings and cabals and everything that have been ruling the planet and touching everything in government, and especially in the United States, where I don't live in the States, but obviously that is a big focus for the planet right now. So there is so much that is up. So much polarity and duality, and it feels almost like a rubber band that's been stretched so tight that like these two sides seem to have nothing in common. And also, that isn't totally true. There is more in common in our humanity than we usually recognize. And you might not like that. I think, and from my studies, my BA as a sociocultural anthropologist, where I obsessively personally interested as well as, academically interested, studied the psychology and culture and religion and spirituality of just people through the global historical context. And I learned that what shapes us is our humanity, right? And it's oftentimes just circumstances, cultures shaped by the resources around a place, like literally what a culture had available to them, whether they were a very abundant culture, they were in a really like easy to find sustenance kind of place, or a cold and harsh climate. That actually basically creates the kind of religion that people have, the kind of timekeeping. All of these things that we think are innate to humans are really actually flexible, and they're made up based upon the like really the game that the humans have been playing with the land and the level that they're in. So what is true is nothing about culture. That's all made up for funsies. Like, it's fascinating. All words are made up. So many ideas are made up. Money is made up. And the only true truth is the infinite, all that is inside of each one of us wanting to be expressed through us. And more people are aware of that and waking up to that. More and more people are learning to celebrate the diversity of all of the incarnations of humanity and divinity in these forms, instead of hanging out in the old paradigm of the fear and the scarcity and the othering. It's not easy though, because that amygdala dominant, which is like that reptilian brain that operates out of fear and instinct, is really highlighted right now because it's been stirred up so much. But the evolution of human consciousness right now that's happening is going from the old paradigm, where we're operating from the amygdala, from the scarcity paradigm, from not enough, from fear, from doubt, from separation, into the new paradigm, which is the one that you could call a million different things. Some people will call unity consciousness. Some people will call the new earth. I like to think of it as a return to wholeness, a return to being able to use the whole body, brain, heart, soul, everything in coherence, which gives us access to all of our magic and our power and a much grander perspective, where we get to operate out of feeling the divine love that actually everything is made out of, instead of feeling separate from it, where we are playing with unity, but in a celebration of the diversity within the unity, not sameness, not this like hive mind. I've been watching Pluribus lately, which is fascinating. If you haven't seen it, it's this show that I can't remember where it's playing, but it is about like an alien virus that humans replicate, that brings everyone into a hive mind of unity consciousness. And there's a few people who are not absorbed into that. And it's fascinating. And I can't wait to see where they're going with it, because they're exploring really interesting facets of like unity consciousness versus separation. And not everything is as we think and as we see it. It's just so good. So take a peek at that if you haven't already. But I also want to celebrate the celebration of diversity and unity, both things, abundance and joy, that happened at the Super Bowl, where Bad Bunny was playing, and it was such a like overt display of everything that's happening right now, where there were people that were really pissed off that People that didn't look like them or speak the same language as them were getting airtime and being celebrated. And some of them went so far as to create their own Super Bowl. We heard about that one, the Turning Point USA one. And the messaging was just fascinating. The way everyone came together to celebrate each other and history and the like joy of union. But the message that was overarching from the Super Bowl is there is nothing stronger than hate except love. And so this being played out on the screens and one of the biggest stages of the of people tuning in, if not the biggest stage. I haven't looked to see if there is a bigger one, but maybe like a royal wedding or a royal funeral. These moments where everyone is dialed in to the same thing at the same time offers incredible evolutionary potential. But those moments in the past have often been hijacked for nefarious purposes. And as someone who can psychically see when things are hijacking and pulling energy and when things are pure and connected to source energy, I want to just put it out there. The actual Super Bowl with Bad Bunny had a little bit of both operating at the same time. There was still energy harvesting, loosh harvesting that wanted to feed on the rage and the anger and the everything. But at the same time, when people were watching and they were not enraged by it, but rather entranced in the joy, it was so profoundly pure and elevating and unifying, and there was just so much magic available. So, this is the interesting thing. People are not always conscious of all of the different frequency bandwidths that are playing out at the same time and what's happening at the different frequency bandwidths, because we can have spiritual warfare and loosh farming and all kinds of like warped stuff happening at one frequency bandwidth, and in other frequency bandwidths it can be telling a completely different story. We see this in sacred texts like the Bible, where there is the exoteric and the esoteric meanings of them, and ones that are very secret and things that only certain people who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear can unlock. And then there's what people are seeing on the literal sense and everything in between. So as we are elevating our consciousness, as we are evolving, as we are having this, embodied ascension and remembering of who we are and the magic, we're learning to exist in more and more frequency bandwidths at the same time. So the limitation that most people have is that trauma and fear and all kinds of junk has limited their ability to read and feel frequencies and see them clearly, to both send and receive. And the limitation, unfortunately, never happens on Earth, at least in just the upper bandwidth of the ones that we like unity consciousness. It always limits us into the scarcity, because that is the game that we have been playing here. And so people that are stuck in the old paradigm and scarcity consciousness cannot see the unity. They cannot see the divine love. And if they do, it feels fake, phony, and like an attack because it's so bright and shiny. And that assaults their nervous system and doesn't feel safe because it's unfamiliar. But when you are amygdala dominant and you're operating in fear conditioning and separation, where you feel separate from everything and everyone, you don't feel safe at all. You don't feel safe at all. So anything that is different than what you are experiencing and what your norm is, even if it's better, even if it is divine love, it still presents as an attack because you're suspicious to anything that can change anything at all, because your survival mechanisms only want to keep you alive and they don't care about optimizing. They don't care about thriving. But I know you do. I know you're not here just to survive. That is not the point. That is not the vibe. You are here for like wholeness and abundance and joy in the whole spectrum of the human experience, experiencing humanity and divinity at the same damn time, multidimensionally. Can I tell you, it's a fabulous place to be. So you need access to the whole gambit of frequencies. That's where the healing work and clearing work comes in. That's where the belief work and the identity work and the trauma work and all of these things that clear and clean the shit that's not you out of the way to restore the divine channel that you were naturally gifted with. We are supposed to be in constant energetic and psychic communication with the all that is to varying degrees. But when we have been limited, we then are stuck into our small world view that is basically us versus them, and we are operating out of fear. That's why we don't want anything to change from that point, because change equals potential, scary, and bad. And so we'd rather keep what is safe to us. And we are sliding through different frequencies all of the time. Our ego, trying to keep us safe and alive, doesn't get obliterated ever. Any kind of ego death is temporary. We require our ego in this body and we need it to be coherent to us. We cannot just let it die. We actually need it to like make sure that we stay alive and don't just walk out into traffic. But we don't want it to be driving the bus. But it is going to rear its survival lensing and mechanism every time we expand. Every time we try to grow, every time we try to do something new, every time we encounter new frequencies that feel destabilizing to our body, we freak out. We're like, oh my God, which is actually a whole thing, because right now the frequency on this planet is so high that for a lot of people, they have not felt it since lifetimes in, like, say, Atlantis or other I was going to say countries, but I mean planets where the frequency was higher, and it's unfamiliar to the nervous system. And this gets people freaking out. So we need to cultivate this ability to hold more in our body, to expand our capacity, to feel and work with and hold more energy and more light. Light is information plus divine love. When I'm talking light, I'm talking photonic light that is the creation energy of everything that is, material on this planet. That is really just a hologram. We all know that nothing is actually solid. It's all just like electrons and protons and neutrons whirling around with a lot of space in between. So like my hands aren't actually touching. That part's an illusion. It's like a giant holodeck, which is funny because thinking of life as a video game actually helps you play it better, because we're less attached to the identity of suffering, because we know that this game is not the all that there is. I want to help people increase their capacity to hold and process more light. That is my favorite thing to do, because that is foundational work to surviving and then thriving. It is the foundational work to getting your psychic senses back online and having discernment. It is essential work to feeling pleasure and joy and abundance and hanging out in the new paradigm and the frequency of abundance and possibility, where the quantum lives, where God resides, where the all that is. This is where magic exists. And so much of my work is about restoring the divine flow and increasing your ability to move through all of the different frequency ranges, from grief to bliss and everything in between, full humanity and divinity at the same time. And that is work on enlightenment, right? But the work that I do is both practical and tangible, as well as very magical. And so many of the people that I work with are here to restore that enlightenment, literally just allowing and recognizing the divine light in you to shine unencumbered, unfiltered, and all of those things, but then doing something with it. Right? The people that I work with are Bodhi freaking Zattvas who came here to help the planet through this process, to midwife it, to make the world a better place. So the process of like getting to that personal liberation is important. It's essential. It's incredible work. But I like to tie that in lockstep in this unity frequency with practical, tangible things that make your life better. So, work that makes your relationships, your health, your wealth, your business, your impact, your day to day experience so much better in every way that it pains me to try to talk about it in short form content because it's like it's kind of complicated. There's a lot going on, but I want you to feel the divine light that you freaking are. I want you to embody the new paradigm energy of unity and celebration of that energy and the diversity of each facet of the infinite and that facet of the infinite that you are. I want people to feel better, not just good, but like so much better because you feel restored, reconnected to the divine, and so supported that you have the confidence and the clarity to do the important things that you're here to do in the world. This is no short order. I know I'm here for the evolution of humanity out of the old paradigm into the new paradigm, into the remembrance of who the fuck we are. Beautiful divine shining stars. It's embodied ascension work and also build the fucking business and life that is going to support you and humanity to move into the next level. So, like, life is just so fascinating right now because there's so many pieces and balls up in the air. Energetically, psychically, if you can tap into those higher frequencies, it is bliss. It is like heartgasm, soulgasm, Gaia-gasm, amazing, intense bliss. And then you come out of that meditation, out of that experience, out of that samadhi where you are the wholeness of the all and into, okay, what the fuck do we do now? Because look at everything that is being dissolved and everything that's being born. What's my piece of the puzzle? And we have to be able to have the capacity to not get overwhelmed in this time where it's like chaos, 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 chaos. Beautiful divine light. Oh my gosh. Oh, if I'm too overwhelmed, it feels like an attack. These upgrades. Oh no. But wait, it feels like bliss. Guys, if you thought right now is hard and the last 4 years have been really intense, like, I'm sorry, it's gonna get crazier. It's gonna get more intense. It's gonna get faster. I want you to be the badass alchemist who can handle it. I want you to be so unfuckwithable that nothing actually takes you off of your axis. You are not going to be taken out by world events, by revelation. Because if you think that what's been happening recently with the Epstein files and other things is all of the revelation, I'm so sorry. We are unearthing the darkness, the darkest parts, the most separate from source pieces of what has created all of the shit here on earth. And we are not anywhere close to being done. We have not even scratched the surface of the alien and interdimensional revelation. People's brains are going to be breaking, right? There is so much that is going to happen. And if you are listening to my words right now, you're one of the anchors of reality, the new paradigm. So you need to be a clear fucking channel to hold that energy. And if you're not right now, that's okay. I can help. If not me, find some other mentor who has the potent, like really works for everybody tools, not just works for them, but really works for everybody tools that are going to serve you in becoming unfuckwithable, to be able to handle it, to have the nervous system capacity, the mental fortitude and focus, and the ability to feel the divine support and bring it down to earth so you know you're going to be okay. In fact, better than okay, because you can access bliss on demand. You can access divine guidance on demand. You can access all of your power, or at least what is available now, and then you keep on evolving and expanding and growing it. This is the work right now. We need to have the clearest channel, the clearest energetic field, so we know who we are, what we came here to do, and we can put blinders on for the year of the horse that is coming, the fire horse, and this 1 year and all of this Aries energy and like Neptune and Uranus and all of these things where everything is going to be moving quite fast. and probably very chaotically, and in many ways very aggressively, because we're not done playing out the retribution and all of the retaliation and the blah, 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 in the lower frequency bandwidths. So I want you to know that it is possible to not get knocked off course by circumstances. I want you to have not just the circumstantial power, but the personal power, the divine power inside of you accessible. So you've got this. This is the play, the work that we're doing here in this time right now, if it's right in front of you. The work that I do is for the Lightworkers, healers, and people who believe in magic already, who are already intuitive and are ready to take it to the next fucking level, who are building either businesses or lives or whatever that are truly being the anchors of the light and the new paradigm and the new earth, whatever you want to call it. The people that believe in magic, you are welcome here in my world. If you are interested and you're like, I don't understand, I don't know, there are places to dip in, like my membership, where we have in Abundant AF a smorgasbord of experiences for you. I also have the newest piece of offerings. It's actually 3 years old, but one of the newest offerings that I have that I've just rebranded is a 6-week accelerator called Psychich AF. And I wanted to make sure you know about it because it happens on starting Thursday. And it is a 6-week accelerator for people who are already intuitive and you want to be so clear and able to tap into your intuition, your discernment, and work with the energy and figure out your next right steps and what to do and be psychic AF about you, but then also expand it into everything else that you do. So you're divinely guided at all times. I want you to have divine guidance on demand, as easy as like FaceTiming a friend. I am old enough that this is what the phones still look like. So you'll never catch me going like phone. But I want you to be able to like phone a friend and that friend be your soul, the soul of your business, your highest self, source itself, Gaia. I want you to have multidimensional access to the luminous team that is here for you. Now, we do this work inside my certifications. I teach the stuff inside of, in bits and pieces in my membership, but I had to a couple years ago, when it was called the Divine Channel, pull out the pieces of like just the intuitive development so that people had discernment and a clear channel so they could access the higher level magic in my world in a more coherent way, because the being just so clear about how your intuition works, how your etheric access works, so you can access and read the quantum, so you can trust what's coming through for you, so you can use your body as a truth barometer, and so you can just know what you need to focus on and know what you need to do and have the potent tools to move the shit out of the way if it's inaccessible to you. This is what I teach in the 6-week accelerator. It is going to be happening on Thursdays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time for 6 weeks. And there is always a replay. I have a lot of people that come through my programs due to time zones or other commitments that do it all in the replay, and they don't even notice because we work in 0-point energy. This is not a course that is like, I'm just yapping and teaching. This is a embodied practice space. So you get some theory, you learn why we're doing things, because I really like knowing why. And then I really like knowing how, but not just because someone told me. I want someone to walk me through it so I can feel it. So we hit all of the learning styles, right? We make sure that you get to see it and feel it and learn it and do it. And then you can practice on your own so your psychic senses can come online with so much more clarity. If this is interesting to you, this 6-week accelerator is $444 Canadian. That's like $325 American. You could pay it in 2 installments. I'm making it as accessible as possible because it is such important work. It is the access point to higher level magic. If you're going to hang out with me, if you want to do one-on-one coaching or work in my magical as fuck experience and go on incredible soul journeys, you should do Psychic AF first. If you're not already completely comfortable with getting the access and like believing yourself and trusting yourself. If you are already pretty intuitive and you're ready for the next level, like this is the place for you. I would recommend you like energy work and you're okay with meditation. Even if you're not great at it, I will teach you how to make it better because that is the framework that we're doing. We use some ritual and ceremonial practices, alchemical rituals that open your channel and then help you to clean and clear it and get support from it. And the fun part is it all feels so freaking good because we're working with divine energy. It's like, I get messages every day almost from people saying these practices changed their life. And I do not take that lightly because, like, first off, that's freaking amazing. I am on my soul mission. I am doing the thing, and I'm so ready to do it at a bigger scale. That's another talk for another day. But I have spent lifetimes, so many lifetimes, training for this and so much money and so much time and so much of my energy training to be able to share this work with you. Like I knew I was going to be a coach of some kind in my early 20s, but I did not step into that work until my late 30s, after I'd been an entrepreneur for 7 years, after I'd facilitated incredible groups and so much mastery through movement. And I understood energy and how to rewire the body and the brain and all of these things really well. And then I have, on top of that, 6 years of full-time experience working with people to really do this work foundationally, and then from there get into the real alchemical multidimensional magic that is like mind freaking blowing and so much fun. But I cannot have anyone that works with me skip these steps. This foundational clarity of having your ability to basically connect with the divine on demand, having that much lightness in your energy field is the biggest life hack you could possibly ever find. If you are like wanting this, but you're like, I'm ready for more high level magic, then Inside Magical as Fuck, the group experience, the 1 year all access pass to all the magic, except for the certification, this is included in Psychic as Fuck, or Magical as Fuck includes Psychic as Fuck. So I have applications available for that. It is the time to make sure that you are getting the support that you need to energetically be so fucking aligned. Because if you're not, you're going to have a bad time. I do not like being a harbinger of doom. I really work hard to not just be a, like, what someone might call like a love and light spiritual bypassing person. For me, love and light is the most powerful thing on the planet because it does illuminate the darkness, and that's where we come into wholeness and clarity and dissolve all the illusions. But because I have access to that higher frequency bandwidth very easily and naturally, where I have always been in contact with my team and with the divine and all of those things, it's easy for me to hang out and stay there, right? To stay there and be like, oh yeah, this human experience is all but a blink on the stage of the infinite time scale. But I came here to be human. So for me, most of my work has been the descension into the human experience and getting the full range of human emotions and letting that flow and playing with the lower energy centers and the money, sex, and power of, like creation energy instead of like the higher stuff that is very natural and mystical and magical to me. But I can support people in activating any of these pieces of their humanity or divinity. I can support people in the enlightenment process because that is what I came here to do. It took me a very long time to be able to say that because I was like, me? No, because my Akashics and my collective and ancestral wounding that said, if you're magical, they're going to kill you was very active because I was like, shit, they crucified Jesus. They've burned the witches. Oh my God, they stoned me when I was a channel in other lifetimes. I had to really create the internal safety to be able to show up and say, hey, I've got magical tools that will change your life in every way. Do you want to play? Not just your life, like lifetimes, because the work that we do in this lifetime is going to be for your soul, not just your human self, but like it creates so like so much soul evolution as well as human evolution. It is so much fun. It is for people on the mastery path. So that if you're on the mastery path, you've had a harder life than most people. If you are my age or a little younger or definitely older, because you came in to master the subjects that you wanted to teach and help other people with. So you had to go through the shittiest of the shit the hardest of the hard, the most to heal of anybody, so that you could be an example of what is possible. The newer kids are not going to have to do that. The new templates, they don't operate in the same way. I'm so grateful that I get to witness that every day. I'm so grateful I get to be the mom to my almost 10-year-old daughter who, like, so much of the stuff that I teach and have never taught her fully, like, she already knows, whether from being telepathically connected or it's already downloaded into her soul. Like, that's crazy. That's fun. But the new earth that we're creating, it's not a different earth. It's just a new experience on the earth with new frequencies available to us, new templates, new like densities of our experience. It's going to be operating differently. We're in the bridge time. We're in the birth time, the transition time. So shit is hard. Birth is hard. Birth can be orgasmic. Birth can kill you. Like this is a whole gamut. And people and the earth are experiencing all of it, all at the same time. And that is wild. And that's why you need mentors, community. You need an anchor. You need to be on your axis. You need to know what is distortion and what is truth. You need your body on board as a truth barometer so that you feel like you can believe what is coming through for you without all the distortions and the distractions and the facts or fiction nonsense and AI crap. Like, we need to be able to rely on our inner gifts to understand the world now and to remember who we are. As I said, divining stars, like divining stars, divine shining stars. The light inside of you is what is creating this new reality on the planet. It's pouring in from the cosmos, yes. From the sun, every solar flare. We've had so many solar flares and CMEs and all of these upgrading, intense radiation experiences. But, beyond that, the great central sun and all of that, that light is coming, but it's also being emanated through your hearts, your words, your eyes, your energy. And that's what's shifting realities really quickly. That's what is illuminating all of the density. It's why all of this revelation is coming out now, and it's going to up in intensity. And so I really want us to have the tools that we need to stay sane and safe throughout the process. Because where we're headed is more beautiful than you can even imagine, but getting there is still going to be a rough ride. But when you have access to the divine, to the bliss, to the feeling that makes it all feel okay, you're going to have a much better time. So please join me for Psychic AF if you need that foundational, like, let's fucking go clarity. Incredible foundational work. Join me inside Magical AF if you want the full gambit of my support energetically so that you can rock this next year. I, of course, am here for any questions. If you need to know what kind of work we can do together that would support you, whether it's mentorship or mastermind or just joining my membership, my DMs are open. I am so excited about where we're going. But I've been through the fucking ringer to be able to stand here and be excited about it. I went through the rebirths and the deaths and the all the crap so that I could hold other people through it, right? But my favorite is to help people who've already been through it, who are ready to freaking fly. Because this next year, these next few years, oh man, it is our time to shine. There is just going to be so much opportunity for the heart-centered humans coming up. Abundance, connections, synchronicities, things again are speeding up. So if you've been doing the work, congratulations, you are about to receive blessings for it beyond your wildest imagination. And also, I am not sugarcoating. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be chaotic. You're here to be a pillar of the truth and the light and the possibility and anchor in that new paradigm energy. And that means you need support too. So if I can be of service to you, please let me know. But remember, it's all happening for us. Okay. All of this The light is already tipped the scales. We are already in that process of illuminating everything. The divine is returning, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the divine union. It's already here and it's growing. It's going to rewrite and dissolve everything that is not based on truth. So let's have some fucking fun with it, shall we?